All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Navigating Modern Dating. Your esteemed host and my two co-hosts here, Spence and TC, with a new panel. Ladies, you might recognize some of them. There'll be some new faces as well as some returning faces. Ladies, thanks for coming on. We're excited to talk to everybody tonight. Let's start with some intros. Why don't we just start with Avis and go on down the line?
Hey, I'm Avis. I'm 51. I've been married 30 plus years, and I'm currently living in the Southwest.
Elizabeth, on to you.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth. I live in the Bay Area, and I am 32 years old, and I've been single for a year and a half.
What do you do for work?
I work as a human resources manager.
Perfect. Anna, on to you.
Hi, I am Anna. I am 33. I'm living near Tampa, Florida. Currently not working, and newly single.
Newly single. How newly?
Very newly.
What, like yesterday newly?
No. Like maybe like a month or so. Yeah, I guess.
All right, we'll come back to that. Gia, go ahead.
Who ended it, you or him?
What's up, guys?
We'll come to that. We'll come to that. Go ahead.
Gia McCool, been married 25 years, sponsored athlete. I also do a little bit of investing on the side. I have a network called Relentless Network. And I'm from Orlando.
Michaela?
Hi, I'm Michaela from Niagara Falls, Canada. I am 25, newly single, and I work in retail and modeling.
Okay. Meg?
Hi, I'm Meg. I'm 38. I live in the Las Vegas area, and I'm in the real estate business. Currently single.
And Meg, how long have you been single?
A little bit, about 3.5 years.
And Nomi finishes off.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nomi. I'm 31 years old, or 31 years young, mind you. I live in Las Vegas, Nevada, and I work in corporate finance, and I also bartend on the side. And I've been single for almost 2 years now.
Michaela, you said newly single. How newly?
9 months. Less than a year.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, cool. Well, let's start there. Anna, you may or may not want to get into this. It's okay. I'm going to start with you because you're our most freshest single. So, and you said you're also very open to, again, like if you guys aren't aware, we asked ladies before the show to give their sort of hot take on dating, a green flag, a red flag. And so Anna mentioned very traditional minded, cool with, loves very hard is what you said, gives her all, takes care of, very traditional woman. So all of that sounds great. What every guy would want. Why didn't it work out with this particular guy?
I'm gonna politely decline to answer. I mean, I want to keep my love life private.
I figured. Yeah, that's totally
Yeah,
cool.
I mean, I
That's
will
all right.
never. I want to keep my my relationships private, because I respect them. What I will say is my ex is an amazing person. I love him dearly, and I don't have a single bad thing to say about him.
Would it be fair to say that you were the one that broke it off?
Nope.
Really? Interesting. Okay. All right. I don't want to pry. I'm just super very interested. And we're going to ask, okay, that's fine. We'll ask some personal questions, but we'll obviously, like I said, we won't go down too far the rabbit hole. Well, Michaela, I think maybe you're the most recently newly single after that 9 months. What happened there? Like, why didn't it work out?
Kind of the same answer I'm going to go with Anna. I mean, the only thing on it I will say is where I mentioned the personal experience. Know what you're getting yourself into before you date that person.
Well, now we're going to talk about that.
That's it.
So what do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, if you're interested in dating someone and you start talking with them and you get to know what they're doing for work, what they're interested in their career and long-term and whatnot, and that doesn't align with what you're doing, don't pursue the date. Don't go further. Like if you know that they're what they do in their job isn't something that you want in a wife or a partner, why waste anybody's time? Elizabeth said, don't waste time.
Is there any behavior that you can think of that you participate in as a single woman that you would change for, let's say, the right guy, so to speak? And if so, what is it?
I mean, the only thing I could think of would be like not going out as much. But I mean, I work in bartending as well, so I mean, it's kind of part of the job.
So what if he didn't want you to work? He's like, I'll take care of you. You don't have to bartend anymore. You don't have to do any of this. Like, I'll be able to support both of us. I'll take care of everything. You don't have to you can just, stay at home, make babies.
If you want to take care of me, let me stay home to take babies. Cool. Still let me have fun and do what I want. So if I want to make money in a job, let me do that. Don't
Would you
stop me
still
from what.
do
Don't stop
bartending?
me from the stuff that I've worked on. Don't stop me from the career and everything that I put all of my years already towards. I don't want to put it down the drain just for a relationship.
For the guy though, like for the guy that you're gonna
For
marry,
the guy,
that you're
yeah,
gonna
no,
have
like why
kids
would I?
with.
Why would I throw all
Prince
of my career
Charming
and all of my
himself.
hard work for the guy?
Well, that's kind of the question, right? So it's like the guy of your dreams comes along, everything checks every single box, he meets every single requirement and then some. Like, this is the perfect man for you. And the only thing is, he says, hey, listen, I don't want you to work. I don't want you, in seedy bars and nightclubs, and I don't want you to have to be ogled at by other men and work in environments.
I'll quit the bar. I'll quit the supplement store.
What
But I
about
do
modeling?
enjoy the modeling industry. I do enjoy being a manager and coaching and all that stuff. So that part of my life is my passion. Don't take my passion away from me. I'll take away the day jobs, but don't take
So
my passion away.
that's what he didn't like, was the modeling.
Parts of the modeling. He liked that the fact that I had my shit together. He did like the fact that I had my business and modeling in particular. Certain parts of modeling we don't like. I do
So is it
topless
fair to
modeling.
say, that stuff is more important to you than a man?
Not more
relationship?
important, but it is part of my paycheck. It's part of like the work that I do. Like, it's part of what I love doing. It's part of my creativity. It's part of my art. So if I enjoy doing it, it shouldn't be a problem if they are the right person for me.
There's lots of ways.
My person isn't going to have a problem with me doing what I love to do.
If he's asking, he's not that guy, right? Is that what you're saying?
Pardon?
He's not that guy then, right?
Exactly. If you're not letting me do what I like to do, which is do different types of modeling jobs, and sometimes it's a little bit of topless modeling, and that person is like, no, my girl has to be completely covered, like the traditional. And cool, that's you, get it. Everyone has their own opinions. Everyone has their own preferences. But don't change someone if they're if it's already something that's a part of them.
Avis, how does that sit with you? Because we asked you before the show what your hot take is, and you've been married 30 plus years, and your take, which I don't even think is a hot take, I think it's the best take, but either way, so the man has the final word in every single situation. So how would this conversation go, or why do you think there's such a difference in opinions where you're like, yeah, if he says no, the answer is no, and you're very good with that. I know G is too, but you're very like, yeah, that's perfectly fine. Where do you think the difference lies?
I think honestly, once you embrace it, you understand it's the good life, right? Like, if Rob, my husband, has the final say and he's like, no, you're not going to do that, you don't do that, and you don't have to, like, it takes away a lot of decision making and responsibility. Like, why am I out there doing stuff that he doesn't want me to do? Like, it's just easier, right? Like, he takes all the accountability out of that. Like, I don't have the responsibility. I don't have the stress. I don't have to worry about the money. Like, I don't want you doing that, Avis. Okay, I'm not going to do that.
So, but G, it's more than that, right? It's if your guy's telling you, I don't like you doing this, I don't want you doing this, it's not, it's not to take something that you love away. Isn't there a deeper meaning at play if a guy is saying, hey, that's not something I'm cool with? Like what maybe some would see as controlling, how do you look at it?
It's a value mismatch. It's like basically she's saying she prioritizes attention and income over long-term pair bonding, basically.
No, I have a child to raise. So, I mean, like, I'm my sole provider. I don't get help from my family. I don't get help from my ex-partner who is supposed to be, there to help my son. He's all mine.
So can you do another form of income other than modeling? Wouldn't that have kept your relationship together?
Well, I mean, modeling was already with me. I've been doing it for at least 10 years already. Like it's been like a long-term career of mine. It's built my
But is
business.
modeling a long-term career?
It is for me, it has been.
It's
But
not long-term. Like I do modeling, it's not long-term. Like we all know there's going to be a cap to it. So
exactly, there is a cap, and that's where I have started coaching already. So I've already been able to start the next like steps and whatnot. But like I already do both already. So it's not like I'm saying, oh no, I'm gonna model for the rest of my life, and that they're not gonna do that. No, like there already is a stop, but don't stop me right now.
I'm going to try a different, I'm going to try to go down this road. I want to try to get an opinions of the panel itself, because I want to come back to this. But if we're going to be on the topic of authority in a relationship, which ladies here think that the man is the leader in the relationship and makes the final decisions? And that's something you would subscribe to and submit to? Just raise your hand.
I'd say yes.
I'm on the fence because
Okay.
I agree, but not fully.
So until it's something
that's
that's
like I agree, like a woman should have her own opinion. Like I agree that like, you know, if she wants to do what she wants, it shouldn't like be like no. Like if you're a dancer, because I'm a dancer as well, like an actual like hip hop, jazz, like you know, like professional performer dancer. If a man told me no, I don't want you dancing ever again, I'm like, wait, what? Like that's a passion, that's a love, like, it's an art for me too. So
let's unpack that
ties
for a
in the
second.
same category for me. That's what I mean, like something like that.
Got it. Let's unpack that for a second, though. So when a guy says, hey, I don't want you dancing, or I don't want you doing this, why do you think he says that? Like, what do you think? Why do you, what do you think drives him to say that and make that call and make that decision?
The only thing I can say is just his upbringing, something that he wants and what his future. I mean, at the end of the day, everyone just wants what they want in life. And the person that you're with, if they're not meeting what you want, you're going to want them to change.
But can you think of can you think of maybe a specific thing, or there's a specific thing about the dancing and the modeling that doesn't like, or there's a negative side of it, or there's maybe not just saying like, oh, well, that's just his decision. Like, what do you think maybe his decision making going into that is? Why would he say that?
It's their own personal opinion. Maybe they got their own insecurities. Maybe they have their own morals. Maybe they have their own like structure of what they want. And just like women, we do too.
So who wins in that scenario? Go ahead, Gia.
Yeah, male nature always wants exclusivity, right?
Yeah.
He's always going to want that. So regardless whether it's him or another guy, they're all going to want the same thing, exclusivity. And unfortunately, if you're doing something that is not, he doesn't feel exclusive, that which is literally using sexual access for leverage, he might have a problem with it. I'm not saying all guys will, but
yeah, no, exactly. Not all
will.
guys do. And if they do have a problem, why pursue a person? Like, why pursue the person if they're already doing it? Why create that problem when, oh, I see they're already doing that? That's not something I want. Okay, maybe I won't waste their time and waste my own. That's what I mean.
The reason they might do that is the same reason, because that's why I asked you before. It's like, is there a behavior or something that you partake in that you would give up if a guy asked you to? You said yes, but it's specific to a certain thing, right? So there are opportunities that women and yourself would give up those for the man of her dreams. Like, we're just trying to drill down what that is. So that's why a guy might slide into the DMs of a girl that's an OnlyFans girl, or he might want to date a model or whatever it is like that, because a guy's hitting you up and maybe asking you out, he's not saying, hey, like, I want to see you and date you long term. He's like, maybe I find you good looking and I want to see if you want to go out. And we'll get to Elizabeth on that in a second, because I would love to hear what gets her out on dates. Because we're getting there. We're going there. But I guess the point that I'm trying to make is that that's kind of why. I don't think it's because people aren't monoliths, right? It's like there's especially women, and I'll say this, and this is basic biology and rooted in how we've evolved as humans, is like women tend to be more of the go along with the group, to go along to get along, less independent naturally than men are. So, I mean, you just look at who does the shopping and who does the TikTok trends and who does this, reads the book and watches the show. Everything, all consumer decisions are based and driven by women. So that's kind of the reason why I don't think it's super out to left field that a guy would be like, yeah, I'm interested in you, but I don't like these certain things.
No,
right?
it's
'Cause
not. Like, it's
there are some
quite
things you
normal.
said you would change. Okay. So I guess that's
And
what
this
we're driving at. Go ahead.
This is where you're going to bump into this a lot, I think, Michaela, is there's going to be a lot of guys that aren't really interested in something serious, but they will tell you they are, and they'll also say, I'm cool with the modeling. And
Oh,
then
yeah.
you're going to meet, well, then you're also going to meet some guys that, like, the type of guy they are, the values that they have, they think they're cool with it, at least. Like, they express and think they're cool with it. But those guys often aren't looking for something traditional, something long-term. Like, they're looking for something that's a little more casual. And they're like, they don't care because they're looking for a relationship to have fun with and not something more serious and more traditional. Because, like, most guys that are more traditional will have a problem with that stuff.
Oh yeah, and that's completely fair. And I mean, and that goes back to like Elizabeth, like when she was saying in the back ends, where she would like cancel dates if she's not getting the vibe like beforehand. But that's because, you know, if oh my god, my train of thought just went because I was just trying to remember off of what you were saying about like going into a conversation and they say that they're okay with it, but then they're not. Just be upfront with what you want. Like, if you want hookups, say you want hookups. If you don't want something long term, then say that. Like, if you're fresh out of a relationship, say that. If you're hooked up on your, say that. That's all.
Does it ever give you pause when you meet a guy who seems like a really great guy and then he says he's cool with it and you were expecting him to be like, I'm not cool with it? Like, does that ever give you pause at all? Have you ever encountered that?
I haven't encountered that yet.
Gotcha.
I'm still, like I said, I haven't really been dating. Like in the 9 months that I said I was single, I haven't really been seeing anybody. I just been kind of focusing on income and little man. That's all.
Yeah, this is something like I've talked to quite a few women that do OnlyFans and stuff like that, like explicit sex.
I don't do OnlyFans, if that's what you guys think. I don't do OnlyFans.
I'm not saying you do, but like women that do explicit sex work, and a lot of times they express almost like this ick when they meet a really good guy that doesn't have a problem with it. Because like somewhere deep down, they know like this guy should not be okay with this.
I haven't experienced that, but I can see where that can become, like where that can come from.
Elizabeth, you're a flaker on dates, so you
I'm
just
in the
cancel
hot
out of
seat.
people. So what's your deal? So a guy hits you up in the DMs, like, let's go out, get drinks. You're like, yeah, and then what happens? Or how does the progression go? How do you go from agreeing to a date to later flaking on a date?
Okay, well, because I like to get to know someone. I think for me, like the number one thing is like if I'm gonna go on a date, I don't want to ever experience on a date that I have nothing in common with that person. So I'm like struggling to find things to talk about. And my background is in psychology and I was a mental health counselor. So I'm really good at communicating with people and you know, talking to them. But man, damn it, some people just are really fucking boring. And I can't. Like my background is in this, and if I have issues trying to talk to you, there's a lot of issues you got. So that's why I flake, because people just the red flags, I'm really big on them. Like I don't let red flags pass me by. And if I get one, I'll think about it and I process it, or I'll call my girlfriends and I'm like, hey, what did you think about this conversation? Like a specific, like, you know, like small sentence that he may have said. And a lot of people would probably just be like, oh, it's whatever. But for me, those little red flags are what really screwed me over my past relationship, that I would just keep, like I was catching left and right, all the red flags, but I just kept letting them go because I don't know what it was. I guess I had hope that I would change that person. I was a hopeless romantic back then.
So what is it? Like, so you match with a guy on a dating app or he hits you up on Instagram and then you guys are just texting buddies for the next couple of days? Like,
yeah.
So what if, let me ask you this question. What if a guy like hits you up and is like, hey, like, think you're good looking. Let's meet at XYZ place at this time, pick you up or meet me there. And you're like, all right, cool. Yeah, sounds good. And then he's like, all right, cool. I'm busy. I'll see you then. Like, I'll see you in 2 days. Would you expect a
Absolutely
guy to text that
not.
whole? So you have to talk to him. You have to text him.
Yes, I'm not.
Interesting. Okay.
No, you can't just go MIA and then expect me to be like
Why not?
text you that
What
day.
if what if guys are busy? What if he's running a company? What if he's a CEO? What if he's a professional athlete and he's got practice? He's got shit to do.
A text message does not take more than 5 seconds.
What do you want him to say?
Something as small as like, "Good morning, beautiful. How are you?" That takes less than 5
He's never
seconds.
even
Why
met
are
you
you
before,
lying?
and he
Why
has
are
to
you
say
lying
good
your
morning,
first
beautiful.
time on the panel?
Oh my
No
goodness.
woman wants a good morning text. That's crazy.
I do. This is how
From
you know that
LeBron
I don't
James,
know.
maybe.
I'm sorry, but I want a good morning text. Like, I hope you have a beautiful day. Like,
What does that
I
do
don't-
for you? All right, so all right, fine. I ask you out 2 days later. We're going on a date. I send you 2 good morning texts, one on the next day and then one on the day, and like we're good.
And then after the date, you disappear.
No. Here's what I'm saying. Like, how much texting or talking do you expect to do with a guy between setting the date and the actual date?
Well, just to get to know you a bit more. I don't
Isn't that what
want
the date's
either.
for?
No, because I don't want to be in a date with someone that I'm like, I could have just figured this out when I was talking to you. Like, first and foremost, a date that you're going to take me on, I'm not going to go on a coffee date. I'm sorry, but I'm not. I could afford a
Why
coffee
not?
myself.
What's wrong
but
with coffee?
I'm not going to go on a coffee date where I do that every morning. I go get coffee, and I would rather just go by myself and just enjoy reading a book and taking my coffee. And like, a coffee run for me is special. Like, I get to
So
run.
if it's
So you want-
special? It's not
Yeah.
like it's not cheap.
You want
Like-
let me get this
No, it's
straight.
not
You
cheap.
want him to invest in you before you've invested in him. That's what you're telling me.
I'm going to invest in him in the conversations we have prior to the date. So that's
No,
an
I'm talking
investment.
about financial, physical, emotional. I'm talking about real investment. You want him to invest in you by taking you to a nice dinner before you've actually invested in him.
Absolutely, because I would do that too, and I do that for anyone. Like, if you cannot financially take someone on a date, then you shouldn't even be dating. That's my number one thing.
But what if it's not about finances? What if a guy's like, "Hey, yeah, I just don't feel like taking you out to the Ritz-Carlton for steak if I don't even know you." He takes the same approach you are,
I'm
where you're
not
like, "Hey, look,
asking-
like."
I'm not
Well,
asking for the Ritz
what are you
Carlton.
asking?
I'm asking
What are you
for
asking for?
a decent restaurant that I'm not. I'm asking
Dinner
for
on
a
the first
decent-
date?
Yes.
What if
dinner
it's
or
just
drink.
drinks? Is that just
Actually, yeah,
okay? So
drinks.
just drinks.
I don't
is
like
cool.
to eat in front of people because I eat like a little
Interesting.
bird.
You're just saying don't do the bare minimum because I'm exactly the same way.
But what's the bare minimum? Since when she just said
Oh,
coffee's her favorite
coffee.
fucking thing to do. How is that the bare minimum?
Because if someone
Going on a
asks,
coffee date is the bare minimum.
Thank
Well, I
you.
don't drink coffee for one, so they can't take me on a coffee date. But if just a guy doing the bare minimum and not
What
putting
makes you think you deserve more than the bare minimum?
you deserve more than the bare minimum just by waking
Why?
up every day.
So
because
How?
a man who gives you your time, his time, which is priceless. You can't put money on time, is the bare minimum.
yeah, but it's like anyone could give me that, and I could give that to anyone.
Anyone
So
can
why-
give you your time.
Yeah, why would I
Anyone-
choose? Why
That's
would
an
I choose
entitled-
one?
That is an entitled response.
No, it's not, because my time is valuable and their time is valuable. I think time is something that's so valuable, and I don't have a lot of time for people. So I just cut through people like that. Like, if I'm not vibing with you, I want the best for you and I want you to find your person, but I'm not going to take up your time and you're not going to take up my time.
Let's go to Nomi, because this is a good transition. Like, Nomi, you said before the show, you say like you should go on as many dates as possible. You should date as many people or go out with as many people as humanly possible. So you're kind of the opposite. You're not like I'm not going to put words in anybody's mouth, but do you share the same, like, so what's the reason behind it? Like, why do you think that's the way to go about it?
Because the thing is, can you hear me?
You're good. You're on.
So the more people that you get to know, the more you learn about yourself and your dating style and what you're seeking for in a partner. But I've been on so many dates where the guy's like, honestly, Nomi, I think you're a great, lovely woman, but I just don't think this is going to work out. Again, that's where communication is very important. But if I don't put myself out there, then I'm not going to enjoy the experiences that I have been able to enjoy. I never demand anything from a man unless he's willing to do what he wants to do for me. Someone wants to take me on a hike, I'll go hiking, because you know what? I'm getting to know that person, and whether or not we get along, then we may or may not get along, doesn't matter. Someone will take me on a cruise, and I spent, 10 days in the Caribbean, didn't see him after the first day. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still on the cruise. I explored all the islands by myself. And I remember last time I was on the show, I had a guy take me on a private jet all the way to Telluride for the film festival, you know? But I don't ask for the date, but I take every single date because half of the dates that I've been on are now great guy friends, you know? And I'd rather build valuable connections with people than dictate being like, is he going to be my partner? And if that person ends up being my partner, to the best for us. But if it doesn't, then, you know, now we get coffee. We meet each other at the club. We do X, Y, and Z. But sometimes I go to bed and we do not bed, meditation. Bed sometimes. We'll see about that. Just kidding. But like whatever it is, it's me getting to know the other person. But I'm not gonna demand a guy to take me out to a $500 dinner, even though it does happen frequently. But at the same time, many men have been so screwed over by women that have flaked on them because the thing is they think coffee is too generic or tea is too generic. So I allow the guy to take control of what he wants to do on the date and I offer suggestions. But then again, I never show up on a date if I cannot afford it myself either. That's just my take.
Okay.
Very well said. I'm going to just say that. That was very well said, girl.
Thank you.
So, Anna, you've been really patient. And I promise this is not a personal question. And I'm not punishing you for not answering that. But you mentioned, like, your hot take was you think there's a gender war going on. You think men and women are pitted against each other. So do you think this is part of the problem? Do you think that there's issues with, you know, my time's more valuable or this time's valuable or there has to be a certain minimum that's met? Or do you like more of Nomi's approach where it's like, I'm going to take every opportunity that I can get? Like, where do you stand on it? And why do you think maybe this is why we're at each other's throats as men and women?
That's a really good question. I really loved Nomi's take. I thought it was really nicely said. I mean, personally, I'm all for going on whatever kind of date. A walk, coffee, whatever. As long as I'm talking to someone and having a nice connection and having fun, I don't care. So I guess in today's world, perhaps I think some creators are, I guess, instilling in young women to maybe, and I think it's a small percentage of women that think this way because I'm listening to all these wonderful women on this panel and I'm agreeing with a lot of their takes. Like, all of you are really intelligent and lovely. I think there's probably a small percentage of women that, only want to date the top like 1% of guys, because that's what I've heard from guy friends, that they feel like they can't date. They're struggling with dating because they're finding that they think a lot of women want just like the top 1% of guys and to be treated like a princess. And that's just what I've heard. But I do see online a lot of I hate men or men saying, oh, I can't get a girlfriend, blah, blah, blah. And it's just negative, and I just am not a negative person. So I guess that's my PC answer. I'm a former pageant girl, so you have to understand.
You said something along the lines of, so like, what do you disagree with? That fact that women don't want to date the top shelf men, or the percentage is wrong? Like, what about that statement gets you going like, no, that's not true?
I don't think a lot of women are like that. I mean, I don't. I think it's a small percentage perhaps, but I think the media sensationalizes it. And as a result, it's because the media sensationalizes it, I think it spreads, like this view spreads, and people think, well, everyone must think this way, and a lot of people don't. I mean, I know so many women that are really cool, down to earth. Like, I know a lot of guys that are really down to earth. I just think the media sensationalizes it, but as a result, everyone thinks everyone hates each other. And I do see it a lot on like TikTok. I'll go online and see a lot of women who are like, I'm a self-proclaimed man hater or whatever. And maybe that's just my algorithm. Maybe that's just my feed, but I don't know. It's hard to say.
But do you agree or disagree that women tend to want to date either across at a bare minimum, like on a socioeconomic scale, or ideally above?
Yeah, I would say this, absolutely. Yeah.
And as women get more educated and make more money and reach a higher echelon of status in society, wouldn't that mean that the pool of available men is shrinking?
Yes, I would. I mean, I would definitely say so. I was before living in New York City, where I definitely saw more of that. That was more prevalent. So yeah, I would say so.
So would it be far-fetched to say that most women are now, or the majority of women, or more women maybe than ever before, are chasing after a small top percentage of men?
I'd say more than before. That's my answer. I wouldn't say all. I don't like to sensationalize or generalize. I'd say more than before, perhaps.
Anna, would
Okay.
you date a plumber?
I'm sorry.
Would you date a plumber?
Sure.
Garbage man?
Yep. If I love him,
60K a
absolutely.
year?
Yeah. I don't. Money is not terribly important to me. It never has been. In a guy, I've whoever
What
I've
if he was
dated, I've always
homeless?
said, do what you love. I don't care as long as you're happy. But if I'm sure other people will disagree with that, that's totally fine.
Do you think that take of yours, like, yeah, it's no problem, do you think that would be unpopular amongst most women? Like, when you would tell them I would
yeah.
date a plumber, no problem, most women would be like,
sure.
oh, why would you date a plumber? So that's kind of what Moff's getting at, right?
Yeah, no, that's totally. I'm sure a lot of people disagree with that, and that's totally fine.
I thought
So what kind
plumbers
of
make good
guys?
money. I'm sorry. I just
They
had
do.
to put
They
that out
do.
there.
You know what? That's
Because in the
funny.
Bay Area,
Depends.
they really
Yes, the
charge
trades.
like
A lot of people
crazy.
are going to trades these days, and they're doing phenomenally for themselves, which I think is really impressive.
Yeah.
But let me
Yeah.
ask you this: like, would you rather date a plumber making 100K or a lawyer making 50K?
Is this a question directed towards me or towards everyone?
Yeah, go ahead, Anna. I'm just curious.
Oh, I don't care.
If you had to
Genuinely, I say
choose,
that in all honesty. I don't care. As long
if you
as
had
he
to
happy at
choose,
his I don't want to choose. I'm sorry. I declined to choose because
I'm in the
I
same
want
boat as Anna. I wouldn't choose either. It doesn't
I
make
wanna
any
be
it's
sense.
a
with
It
a
doesn't
guy.
matter.
hypothetical. What do you mean? I've got a
Yeah.
gun to your head, and they're both equal all the way down the line: personality, height, weight, looks. The only difference is one's a lawyer, makes 50K; the other one's a plumber, makes 100K. I'm just
The only
curious. In
difference,
that
one might
situation,
come
gun
home
to your head,
smelling,
you
the other
have to
one won't.
choose.
Like, that's really the only
Plumber.
difference there.
I'm gonna say
It
it.
could be
Plumber.
anything. I'm just saying, like, pick one and why.
I will say it. I will date the plumber because he has to make more
Why?
than me. Because he has to make more than me. I can't date someone who makes less than me because if we were to get married and then we got divorced, I'd be paying him after the divorce. So he has to make more than me. At least.
Prenup.
Could always not get
How
married
much
then.
more? That's true.
Not a lot. No, it's just like you just have to make more than me so I could guarantee that you're not coming after me financially after we split and we're done.
But
So.
you said you don't want to get married anyway. So what's
Yeah,
the
but
point?
I'm just talking about it like if it was to ever happen and the stars aligned, okay?
So you
That's
wouldn't be
it.
embarrassed to tell your girlfriends that you're dating a plumber when you could be
Why would
dating a
that
lawyer?
be embarrassing?
That's not embarrassing.
That's not
Garbage
embarrassing.
man,
Absolutely not. Like
homeless man living off government
No, because
assistance.
anyone can
The
change
government
position
assistance
they're
cut
at.
that. Obviously not
Oh,
that. Like,
see there. No, what if he
McDonald's
didn't want to
drive-through
change?
worker.
I worked
What if
hard to
he's
get out
like,
of
no,
government
I'm good. What
assistance.
if what happened to accept me for where I am and date where they are?
Well, I will say this personally for me, if I knew this person was a plumber and they're making this much money, well, plumbers in the Bay Area, they make pretty good. They're not like, no, they're making really good. So I wouldn't mind and I wouldn't be embarrassed to say that he's a plumber at all. There's
As long as
nothing
he's
embarrassing
rich.
about that. No, as long as he was making more
And he
than I
texts you,
was.
"Good
And
morning, beautiful."
And send
and
you
he
good morning
texted me, "Good
texts.
morning, beautiful." That's totally fine with
The
me. I don't
plumber
care.
is
Guy who
not
makes
sending you
more
good morning,
money.
beautiful
Yeah,
text.
plumber's
That
bullshit.
I promise you.
I will tell you
He's
one
down
thing.
in the sewer. He's down in the
Doing
sewer
shit.
and
He's
he's
got
got
shit
shit
to
on
do.
his hands. He's not. He's gonna be like,
I
"Hey
have-
Siri,
I
text
have-
Elizabeth to call me later."
Good morning,
I have
beautiful.
hot plumbers on my DMs, okay, and they do text me and they send me videos of like their work, and I'm like, yeah, I don't mind. I'm there's nothing.
How many of them have you
And
gone
free
on a
money.
date with?
None. But that's because I almost never go on dates.
Wow.
You can't
When's the
hold it
last
against
date
me.
you went on? When's the last time you went on a date?
Goodness. I think it's been over 6 months. Yeah, it's been that long. Over 6 months.
So
Yeah,
when
mine
you
was 2
say
hours.
Yeah.
when you say I want to continue living my best life, what does that mean?
I think right now, like it would take the right person for me to like stop everything I'm doing because I'm on a roll. Like right now I'm working on my house projects. Like my weekends are in construction. Like people may see me all dolled up like this, but on the weekends I'm with like hair pulled up and I'm like working side by side with construction workers around.
So how is a man supposed to find you if you're working all the time? How is
We'll
the right
run
man
into,
supposed to
we'll
sweep
run
you
into
off your
each
feet?
other at the coffee shop. I'm in Home Depot a lot, and there's the finest man there. Okay, hands down. For the ladies that don't know this,
That's
they're
why
there.
you don't go on coffee dates, because you want guys to approach you at the coffee shop.
I'm sorry. I'm at
You're
Home
like, that's
Depot.
where I find them, man.
No, I have no issues socializing. I'm all over the place. Like I go to a lot of places, so meeting people has never been a problem. But I'd rather prepare and just wait for my person and not waste anyone's time when I know it's not going to go anywhere and they're not my person.
Can you talk about a time in your life where you've achieved anything without actively going after it and trying to get there as opposed to just waiting for it to find you?
I think when I got into HR.
So you just were sitting on your ass one day and somebody said, "Hey, do you want to come work HR?"
I applied for it.
That's pursuing something, isn't it? Right? That's going after something that you want. That's taking an active role, is it not?
Well, yeah, I guess in that perspective,
I gotta
yes.
ask, was it also the CEO?
Yes, it was the CEO who really liked me. So that's why I got hired.
But do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I
Yeah.
only bring that up. And maybe Avis and Gia can maybe ping in on this. But
Yeah.
I don't, I hear women say this a lot. And this is, me and TC were going back and forth early. He's like, yeah, you should ask the single ones what they want. I'm like, they're going to fucking say whatever fucking finds them is right for them. And he's like, all right, well, like, let's try it. And here we are. Right. But it's not just you. We hear this literally all the time. No, it's not about that. It's not about you telling us what you want. It's about, are you willing to go get it? Or it's like a lot of women have this aversion to going and putting forth any effort into relationships. And I think it comes from a fear of rejection because women really aren't really equipped to handle rejection very well. But the point that I'm trying to make is that if nothing good comes to you or just falls out of the sky, including your career, you're going to Home Depot to buy shit to build, you're going to go get coffee because that's something you enjoy. Like, why should dating be any different? Like, why would you, if a house isn't going to build itself, if you want to, why do you think an amazing relationship is just going to find you?
Because I feel this is the one thing about me. It's like, I know in my heart who my person is and who's the person that I want to spend time with. Like, I'm not a person who's going to invest time on people where I don't see a future with. Like, I first have to see a future with you. And then I'll start investing time and vice versa. I don't want him to spend any money trying to take me on a date or spend any time on me. If I'm not his person and I don't see a future with him, I want him to save his money and his time on someone else.
Well, and here's where this kind of ends up. So we always hear this, like women are like, oh, I'm waiting for my person. And it's like this shadowy man, this mysterious figure that nobody can really pinpoint, like, what are his qualities?
Okay.
But in reality, you're looking for a man that has specific qualities, right? And what a lot of women do is they're like, I'll wait for that man to find me, and then he's going to need to do all this stuff to get my attention. And usually that doesn't work. Like, what women really need to do is find, this is the type of man I want to be with. These are the things he wants a woman to do. I'm going to go do those things. And like most women just don't do this now. They have like no concept of the man they wants a woman that does X, Y, Z, A, B, C. And they're like, yeah, but I don't want to do X, Y, Z, A, B, C. So it's like, you must give the man what he wants if you want him to give you what you want.
First, I would like to say I'm not looking for that for any man. If the right person comes along, then I will feel it and I'll know it. And the one thing that I've always do is I pray. I know this might sound corny and it doesn't look like what I present appearance wise, but I pray. Every man that I'm like encounter or that really wants to like get to know me, I'll pray. I'll be like, God, just send me signs if this is not the right person for me. And within days, I will start getting the red flags, or like I'll see their true colors and I won't even invest more time on them. Like, I wish them the best. I'll pray over them, but I keep it pushing.
What if I told you I've been praying?
Huh?
Do you ever pray for positive signs?
I pray to
Good question.
that everyone's colors just is revealed, and that anyone that I meet and come across, that I could see their true, genuine self, not the
So what
person
if
we
I
put up.
what if I told you I've been praying to become a multimillionaire?
Yeah,
Would you
but
think I'm crazy?
that's
No.
different. That's
Or
no.
would you say I should be going and doing things that have a high chance of leading to that outcome?
Yeah, but the one thing I would say is just like, are you praying for the right thing? Because we all want to be that. Anyone could pray for that, but like, is that the
Are
path?
you?
Am I praying for that? No, I'm praying.
Are you
for
praying
just,
for the right thing?
I pray that God
And how do you know?
puts me in the road that I need to be on, because God knows what's best for me. Like, I might think this is better, but God's way is better. So that's
Have
what
you
I
ever
pray.
made a decision based on a feeling that turned out to be the wrong one?
Yeah, that was my ex-boyfriend.
So if you can make bad decisions on emotion and you can make good decisions on emotion, what good is emotion as a method for deciding what to do?
I
How
think
good are feelings to tell you anything if they can be both good and bad or right and wrong?
that's why I'm starting to lean more towards if I lean towards my mind and my self-conscious of what the right thing is, then my body and my heart will follow.
Sounds woo-woo to me, man. All right. Thank you for chiming in on that. Meg, I want to get to you
Yeah,
really
sorry,
quick
my
because
phone
you've
cut
been
out real
patient.
quick.
Nope, it's cool. We got you. So you want more than the bare minimum. You said coffee. So what's the bare minimum for you? Or like, what's the threshold a guy would have to ask you on for you to go out with him on a date? Dinner,
Well, no,
drinks,
like,
like what's the deal?
yeah, I would say even drinks, but yeah, just going to a coffee date, like she said, you can go get
What's wrong with coffee? First of all, let's say what's wrong with a coffee date?
Well, I don't drink coffee. Tea sometimes.
Tea then.
Yeah, tea.
What's wrong with
but
tea?
Nothing's wrong with tea. But yeah, if a guy is just, making a little bit more effort, like going to, even if it's happy hour or something, it's better
But
than
you
just
all right, but you like tea, you enjoy tea, right?
no caffeine. I can't do caffeine, so I don't drink a lot of tea. So yeah.
Something that's just like
Watergate.
getting ice cream. Do you like ice cream? Do you eat ice cream? Are you a normal human being?
Like even going on,
Yeah.
It's a little bit more than, hey, let's
So
go
let's say
get
ice cream,
coffee.
right?
Yeah,
Like,
that's fine.
is that high?
done it before.
Is that a high investment enough for a first date?
I've gone and gotten ice cream and a glass of wine together before. So
All right, let me rephrase the question. What is a first date that you will not agree to? What's like below the threshold of bare minimum?
going and getting a cup of coffee.
I know, but you already said you don't drink coffee. You're saying you don't drink caffeine, so you're going to say no to coffee to every guy.
Yes.
Let's say it's a guy you like.
Okay.
Meg, you're not going to go to coffee regardless if a guy asks you to go to coffee or not, right? Because you don't like coffee.
Well,
You might go and do something like you might go and do an activity by yourself or with a girlfriend, but you might think that's too low investment for a guy on a date. Like, what would that, like a walk in the park? Is that too low investment?
I've even gone to the gym and worked out on a date for the first
What
time.
about a walk in a park?
I've never done the walk in the park. I mean, I guess that's
Would
okay.
you?
That's getting to know someone.
Okay. Well, this isn't going where I thought it was going to go.
She's open.
Maybe-
To
So
everything.
any first date you're cool with, as long as you like, it's not coffee because you don't drink coffee.
Well, I've already dated the guys that do the bare minimum. I'm over that. So
But what is the bare minimum? Can you
Make
explain to me what the
effort.
bare minimum is? No, but what's the bare minimum? Like define, give me an example of a bare minimum date.
I just said going to get coffee. Even if I didn't drink coffee, like going just to meet up with them,
Oh,
Like
okay.
you never,
So
you
he's
never
like,
see-
oh, wait,
It's
go,
like,
wait, did I
come
miss
over to my
something?
place.
some
See,
type of
this
activity.
is
Like I can sit there and text and have a conversation with you on the phone, just like a walk in the park. Like let's do an activity. That's fun.
So it has to be a fun activity. Like,
Yeah, fun
okay,
activity.
let me try to get to the crux of the question. I don't think this is going to work, but I'm going to try it anyway. So Meg, you're late 30s. You live in Vegas,
Mm-hmm.
not married, no kids. You said you do want to be married in the next 5 years. So that's not that far away. So you say like, I want guys that do more, put in an effort. There's a lot of good looking women in Vegas that would go out for a coffee on a first date, or that would do something as innocuous as like sitting in a park, or that would do something that you might see low effort. So how do you compete with those women? If they're willing to
maybe-
accept something, like how do you compete, or how else do you separate yourself from them?
Maybe I'm not really concerned about the Vegas guys. Maybe I like guys outside of town, like from back home,
Where's home?
Virginia. Yeah.
How are
New
you going to
York
date?
is-
How are you going to
New
get
York
married to
is-
somebody that lives 2 times or 3 time zones away?
It's not hard. I mean, they would have to move here, I move there. It's been in discussion.
So you have
just-
like long distance
I'm just not
relationships
the
going right
one.
now?
I'm just not the one that's made the decision yet, you know? Like, I could if I want, but I like Vegas. I'm comfortable here.
Totally. You explained it perfectly. Gia, you were going to pipe up and say something. I'm sorry that I cut you off.
Yeah, I was just going to say, like, everything that I'm hearing on the panel, it just comes down to why men and women are at war, right? Like, men and women are at war because modern society changed all the rules of dating, right? It changed so many things, right? You have no fault divorce, birth control, sexual liberation, online dating, social media. So it changed all of this, but male and female biology didn't change, right? We still have our same natural proclivity to do things. So both sexes are chasing different incentives. Like for instance, women are looking for short-term sexual freedom, their options, their leverage, and men are looking for long-term, but still women are wanting the obligation. How am I hearing?
Sorry, that's mine.
So they're still, men are still obligated to pay, plan, and invest in dates, all the while women saying they believe in equality. They don't believe in equality, because if that was the case, they wouldn't expect a man to invest without her doing the same initially. So it's like it shows, and then they both want to blame each other when it's really both sides having completely different strategies in dating.
Avis, you're nodding along. You want to chime in on that?
I'm just thinking to myself, if I were a single man listening to the panel, I don't even know how I would approach a first date. It's very confusing. This is acceptable. That's not acceptable, but I don't know. It's kind of crazy.
That's what I'm saying. Feminism.
Step one, text
it's
good morning,
clear.
beautiful.
Well, also, like, women, let's be honest, and this is an open question, so chime in if you think you have an answer to it, and feel free. But it's like, isn't a guy who defers to you in the first place kind of a dork that you don't want to follow? If a guy's like, because don't women want a guy that's going to make the decision, pick the place, pick the time, pick the date, be definite? Not, what do you want to do? What do you want to eat? Where do you want to go? What do you like to do? So it's like, you say you want a guy that's going to, jump through these monkey hoops, right? But when they do, or when they defer to you in your authority, when you tell them, no, I'm not doing that, are you going to not like that guy anyway?
Yeah. We want the man that says, put on the black dress, wear the black heels. We're going out at 5.
Has direction. Correct.
Yes.
And that's
Naomi, go
why
ahead.
men are frustrated. They're withdrawing.
So
I like when a guy orders dinner for me.
Hold on, Meg. Naomi and then Meg.
So I've known this guy for over a year and a half, and we have really great rapport, but he lives out of town. So obviously, as adult human beings, he lives his own life and I live mine. He probably dates around other girls, and I've gone on dates with other guys, which is very fair to both of us because we have that mutual understanding. But every time he comes to Vegas, or every time he flies me out somewhere, he's just like, Wednesday, I'll pick you up from the airport. This is your flight ticket. Wear airport clothes. We're going to have some time to rest. Dinner's at 7:45. Dress up. We have a tour at 10 a.m. Be comfortable. 3 p.m. rest. 6 p.m. dinner reservation. Dress up. Friday, do whatever you want. I have work. I booked you a spa. The next day, I'll drive you to the airport. So every single thing is lined out for me, so I know what to pack, what time I need to be where and when, what time I can reach out to my friends in that said city or whatever. And then boom, we say our goodbyes. He lives his life, I live my life, but I don't have to worry or think about it. Oh, I like it when you wear stockings. Perfect, I'll wear my stockings. But I don't want to be like, okay, so are we going to go to Dave & Buster's or are we going to go to Nobu? Right?
Well, Naomi, just to be clear, and I just, because I know what people are going to say in the comments in the chat. Yeah, of course she's loving all that and she'll do whatever that guy says because she's getting flying on a fucking PJ and going to, Nobu. So would you take the same approach if the guy was like, I'm calling you a yellow cab, We're going to bowling. We're going to have dollar store hot dogs. And then I'm putting you back on a plane and shipping you back to Vegas.
Hey, 7-Eleven hot dogs are really tasty, okay? So like it doesn't matter what it is, but I like it when a man takes control and lets me know where we're going, what we're doing, so I don't have to think about it.
So
Because
it's the
I
fact that there's a
have
plan,
a
not
plan,
about the
make a
actual
plan.
thing that you're doing.
Yeah, you can take me to McDonald's, chicken nuggets, and honey mustard. That's my thing. You know, it's my thing. $8
Elizabeth, you're
bottle
not
of
about
vodka,
that
$5
McDonald's
bottle,
life.
you know? But
I,
I don't like
I'm
it
trying to
because
lose weight, so no.
I do. But I like everything. As long as I know where I'm going, what I'm doing, who I'm being with, and we have a great funny conversation. Some of my best dates are literally just in stupid pajamas watching horror movies until 7 in the morning.
Let me
You
let me
know?
ask you something. When you're telling me about all these great things that he's doing, why haven't you married this man? Like, why aren't you guys in a relationship?
Well, so he is divorced and not looking to settle down anytime soon. And I am still actively single. So if I want to have a great couple of days, I'm going to have a great couple of days. So we just have that great rapport,
Do
understanding of each
you
other.
do you ever want to get married? Do you ever like want to have a commitment with a man?
So that is a really great question because people always ask me that. I just haven't found anyone that is willing to want to settle down because again, like I said in the back end, our prior conversation before this whole thing started, I'm too spontaneous, I'm too independent. You never know where I'm going to be, and that's not fair for me to be that type of woman for a man. Because the thing is, if I come home at 3 in the morning 5 days in a row, that's not healthy. If I'm like, hey babe, I decided to go to Miami tomorrow, that's not healthy,
Okay,
right?
so this guy that flew you out, what if he came up to you tomorrow and he said, I want to get married, let's get married. Would you get married to him?
Maybe a couple more days later, just because I've only seen him like 4 or 5 times, but he still has his
Okay,
own life.
so let's get down to the real truth about this. This is not about you being busy and distracted. This is about you not finding the guy that fits the expectations of what you
Mhm.
want to commit with. Yes?
Correct. I love
Okay.
how you articulate very well, so thank you.
So now, with that being said, this is where I come into unrealistic expectations because men who are going to fly you out, pay for all exclusive trips, okay, do all these things with you, they are setting you up to fail ultimately because what these guys are not going to settle down with women. Why would they? Because they want to keep their optionality open. Okay, and this is a harsh reality for many women. They get used to a certain lifestyle, right? They get expected to be with a high status man who's going to give them these kind of dates, but these men never want to settle with them because they want to keep their optionality open. So now you can't ever you don't want to be with an average guy. You don't want to be with that guy that can't do these things because now you got used to this certain level.
I
I
will
mean, this
beg.
is something very seriously to think about, you know?
So this happens to a lot of women, and I'm very well aware, but I do beg to differ in that sense because right now I am in that era of just freedom, traveling, everything that I wasn't able to do in my early 20s because I was consistently in committed relationships back to back. So right now I'm in my exploring fun stage. So I have that understanding with everything that I do, and I go forward with everything that I say and do with open honesty and air. Because right now, at this very day and time, I'm not looking for commitment. I'm not looking for a boyfriend or a husband. But maybe when I finally get all my travel blues out of the way and whatever, I'm more than happy to start searching for that again. So that's why I'm very vocal with the people that I meet, being like, hey, I'm just here to have a good time and that's it. And they end up maintaining their friendship with me, and then they're having fun in their own way because we're all adults here. It's okay to have those conversations. But when I do enter that stage, when I think or know, who knows what I'm going to feel in 10 months or 5 years from now, then I'm going to be willing to be a little bit more complacent in terms of my behaviors and actions. But until then, I'm in my free spirited age. So I can't dictate what I should do for a man or what a man should do for me.
I wanna change gears here for a second. So Anna, I know you recently went through something surprising that it wasn't your own doing. That's pretty rare. Yet generally, men are always the ones getting broken up with. I'm curious because it's so rare. there's this phenomenon in evolutionary psychology called like monkey branching, where women will generally not grab onto the next branch until they're ready to. They won't let go of a previous branch before they've got another one, or there's a phenomenon also where like women will break up emotionally with a guy 6 months before actually physically doing it. They mentally check out a lot earlier. And then that allows them to move on to the next person rather quickly. And so because it's kind of the opposite situation here, like, do you plan to get back out there relatively quickly? Or are you trying to, because the traditional thing in the marriage and kids, like it takes work, it takes time. Where are your thoughts on that? Are you waiting for the right moment? Where's your head kind of sit?
I have no interest in dating right now. I need to heal. I would really like to work on myself a bit. I'm in, as much as I would love to have a beautiful family, a wonderful husband, I'm in no rush because I need to heal first. I think that's, I have no interest in dating whatsoever.
What do you think maybe, so you said heal and work on things. I don't know if you meant like
Yeah.
improve yourself or it's just kind of get over. Like,
Yes.
what are some areas
Yeah.
that you think you might want to
Oh.
improve?
I'd love to pick up some new hobbies. I would love to do maybe just work on some things like in therapy. Like, I want to be a more well-rounded person. I want to also heal from my last relationship. Just, I think I want to handle this in the most healthy way I can.
Okay, interesting. Because we hear that a lot. Like I hear heal a lot. I think there's people that need to. I don't personally agree that a lot of healing needs to take place. I think like time is of the essence, especially in dating and relationships. I also think, and I think, and I was going to bring this to Elizabeth because I was kind of surprised, like with the background in psychology, when I said earlier, and Gia and Avis, I think you can probably back me up on this, but I hear, and you didn't say this, Anna, so this is not necessarily directed. This is kind of a pivot, but we always hear women say, well, I need to go rediscover myself. I need to find who I was. I need to return to that person or find that. But we kind of know, not only based on observed evidence, based on personal experience for a lot of women, that women will pretty much adopt the mannerisms, the music, the interests, the politics, the movie of whoever guy is she dating or in love with at that particular time. So isn't going to find yourself and finding who you are, isn't it all just a big waste of time?
No, because you're trying to find your likes, your hobbies, your person, like what you
But
want to
those
do.
will disappear when you get with a guy that you really, really love and really want to be with. Like we
Well, if
see
the
that
man has
happen
the
in
final word
nature.
and takes everything away from you in terms of like, well, I don't want you doing that. I don't want you doing that because that's something you liked.
But no, I understand that can happen, but this is a natural phenomenon. This occurs. And
Yeah.
like, women will actively do this, not because they're told to, or not because their guy says they can't have interest. Like women will naturally adopt and Gia and Avis, feel free to chime in on this, but they'll naturally adopt the interest of the man because they think he's such a fucking amazing guy and like the baddest dude ever. They'll latch onto that stuff.
And then
And he's the leader. He's the generalized leader, right? Like we're going to follow him and we want security and he's offering security. And so we're, like I said, we're just going to.
But you're not like brought along against your will. Like you like those
No.
things, like you adopt them naturally because he just listens to that kind of music or he wears that kind of, or participates in those kind of activities, right? Like,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you still have your own interests. Like when I'm at the gym, I listen to something different, but yes.
Gia?
So yeah, I mean, I don't agree with the statement. I mean, I know anybody who uses that statement is usually women who are like post-wall or who have lost options in the dating market. So that's why it's like a way to regain that ego back. Because
What
they're
statement are we
starting to
talking about?
lose.
Just for the audience, Gia? Like to find yourself?
I need to go find myself.
Okay. Gotcha.
Correct.
Can you identify for the listeners or maybe the people what post-wall means?
So a woman who has started to lose options in the sexual agency or sexual marketplace. So usually women will wait, like before they get married, they'll push it down the road because they have all these options, like we talked about, like leverage, whether that be attention, money, opportunities, and this usually comes young, right? Because men are the ones giving them this leverage. So this is why I say the men and women are at each other's neck, because men are on one end, trying to take advantage of their own leverage, which is a different incentive, and women on their end are going after their incentives. So that's why it's called dual mating strategy. They both have different incentives in the dating market, and they completely clash with each other. They're offensive. They don't work together. And that's why we have this issue. So women who say, I want to go find myself, are women who have lost dating optionality. They've lost that whole leverage in the dating market. So now it's like, let me go see what else I can find because I'm starting to lose it now. It's an excuse. It's a cop out. It's a cope.
Okay. Anybody else want to comment on that before we move on?
I feel like that.
Go ahead, Elizabeth.
That was pretty good. That was pretty well said.
I will say to each its own, because I have heard it from so many different people that they're going to go find themselves. And you know what? And I have heard it from my friends that they're just going to go find themselves.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
And
we got you,
to each his own. If they're on that journey, go on and live your best life and go beyond your journey. People change with the things they go through, and sometimes people are on that mental state, emotional state, that they want to go find themselves, whatever it is that they feel like is best for them. That's just,
but that's really bad advice, isn't it? Like, isn't that really at its core really bad advice, to go and do whatever you think is best for you and whatever feels good, and there will be no repercussions?
Because there's been times where right now I'm doing really good, but back then, in 2 years after my breakup, it was a hot mess. I was like Courtney Love's, just insanely out of whack. But
can't that also happen to women if they go and they try to go and find themselves, and maybe they get into drugs and alcohol, maybe they get into prostitution, maybe they get into running up a super high notch count?
It's not something that I condone, but I would say that it's their journey, and people will find themselves eventually. That's what I've always said.
What if they find themselves drug addicted and dead?
I
like what I'm getting at here
you're
is
going
that
in a really dark way.
No. This is what I'm getting at. It's like this laissez-faire attitude of do whatever you want, girl, is actually really dangerous and destructive, and I think it's ruining the lives of a lot of women.
I'm saying that we can't judge everyone. What I'm saying is that if
sure
that person wants to go, that's not what I'm about. I'm not going to sit here and judge anyone else.
I'm not talking about judging. I'm talking about helping to
Isn't
protect.
it kind of judging when you're saying that kind of statement?
No. I would say, like, so the reason I brought up prostitution, for example, or drugs, is because those are activities that you can partake in that will fundamentally change you and forever, and often a negative way. Like, doing drugs is not good. There's nothing good about doing heroin or doing cocaine that is going to give you long-term benefits of health. There's nothing good about a woman who goes and becomes a prostitute and starts sleeping with dozens, if not hundreds of men. Like, that's not ever good or healthy on any long timeline. So to sit here and say, like, whatever you choose to do, like, that's your journey, and I don't think it's judging. I think it's protecting. I know, but like, what if it's your
and that's
if it's somebody you really care, but if it's somebody you really care about, but it's like, what if it's your daughter?
I always have conversations with people, but I always meet them at where they are at, not in a judgmental way, in a way where I'm seeing them, I'm hearing them, I'm there to support them. I'm not here to judge you or tell you how you should live your life, because we've all been at a different points in our lives where I've been really low, not doing those things, but I've been really low, and you can pull out of those things. That's just I'm
that funny comment. I mean,
HR department speaks.
I think that's
Elizabeth,
go ahead.
I'm curious. Do you have a sister?
I have two brothers.
Okay, let's imagine you have a sister. You're very close with her. Okay, she comes to you after just getting broken up with, and she says that she wants to get into prostitution. That's part of her journey. What advice would you give her? Like, and she's asking you, should I do this or not? What would you say to her?
I think my advice would be and this is upfront to everyone that I talk to, it's that you should really think about what you're going to do, because some of the decisions that we make, and I'm coming from a place out of love and most of the time I'll use my examples of things that I've went through, because sometimes people just want to be heard and have someone that's there compassionate, but not come at them in a way where it's judgmental or like, oh, this is bad for you, because people are going to end up doing it either way. And even worse, they'll do it even faster because they feel like, oh, I'm going to prove that person wrong. So sometimes people do listen, but it just depends on how you get that message and sometimes who the messenger is.
Okay, but what would your actual advice be? Would it be yes, you
My
should do this, or no, I don't think this is a good idea?
my advice would be, I think it's not a good idea, because I'm not even going to go down that road, but I would just say it's not a good idea. And I know that down the line, it's going to be better for me to have that conversation with them, but I would come in a place out of love. Like every message
That's
I would
exactly
give
what we're
to them.
talking about.
Yeah.
That's exactly
So
what we
do you
said. Like
yeah, do
you're
you see
the one
where
talking
Moff's
about
coming from?
judgment. Like I never said I'm judging anybody. I'm
I don't
saying
know.
I
It's
think
just say, I for
because
me,
go ahead.
no, I didn't want to interrupt you.
No, it's what I'm saying is because of these potential long-term damaging effects, and because we care somebody and we don't want to see bad things happen to him, that's why it makes sense to potentially save somebody from themselves, because people make bad decisions about their lives and mess them up all the time. If everybody made the right decision all the time, we wouldn't have drug addicts and we wouldn't have murderers and we wouldn't have career criminals and we wouldn't have negative things, because if everybody just made the best decision, it'd be paradise. But people mess things up and make mistakes all the time. So as people that care about those other people, do we not have a responsibility to step in when somebody we care about is clearly making a decision that is going to affect them negatively?
That's everyone's duty as a person. Yeah, that's our duty
So
to
yeah,
be able to
but
say that. But I will say this, the way and why I said what I had to say is because when I speak to someone, I'm never coming at them in a judgmental way. I'm coming at them. I'm going to meet you where you're
Elizabeth,
at.
neither are we. None of us said
Okay, 'cause
judgment. You keep trying to put it on me like I said
I
I
don't
was
know. It
judging
just came
people, and
out
I'm
that
not going
way
to
to
let you
me.
because I didn't. I know, but that's
Okay,
not what
well,
I
it just
said.
that's the way it came out to me. So that's why I've said
But that's
that.
not. But it's not the
Okay,
way.
well,
So we
if it's
actually
not
agree.
the way that it came out, then I
Yeah.
apologize for
No
that.
worries, Elizabeth.
No, it's
I
not
don't
to
think
apologize.
I don't
That's
think
not
you
what I'm
said
getting
anything
at.
wrong earlier. I think we just finally got past understanding, like both
Yeah.
seeing it from the same side. And like now that we both see it in the same light now, Moff, like, was there any more that you wanted to say on the
Well, no,
topic?
but I think there was still advice given where it's like that's their journey. So like I don't know where that comes into play now.
Well, I still
Maybe
stand
it's
behind
people
that
that
because
if it's people
that
that we
is
don't care about, I think that's probably perfectly acceptable. Like if I don't care
no,
about
I'll
somebody, I'd be like,
still
yeah, man, do
have that
whatever.
conversation with them. But if that's the journey that they want to be on, that I would still love them and support them. That's not gonna change at all. But that's the journey they're on right now. And that's what I meant when if someone's on that journey, then that's the journey they're on. It doesn't mean I'm not gonna support them and I'm not gonna talk to them. Like I'll still be there to support them, love them, and be that whisper. Sometimes you need people to be there and just accept you for that state you're in your life right now.
At what point do you think judging somebody is a positive thing that's beneficial? If
I
ever.
don't think at any point. No, at
So
any point, no.
so no criminals. Like we don't judge anybody.
I wouldn't. I don't. I've tried not to. My very best, and sometimes it's hard when, especially when I was a mental health counselor and I worked with pedophiles. Those were really hard, but it's separate the
Rapists and murderers they're cool.
No, I never said that.
So who should judge these people?
I'm not no one to judge. I'm not perfect, so I'm no one to judge.
All right, let's move on. Thank you. That was a good line of questioning. I was going to go to Michaela.
Epstein list is safe in Elizabeth's
Can't
hands.
remember what I was going to say, but actually, I do know what I was going to say. Because this actually came up on a conversation or a talk that I did like 3 hours ago. Is there any possible chance of reconciliation between you and your daughter's father?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Oh, my son's father? No.
Sorry,
Never.
I thought you had a daughter. I
No,
apologize.
none. My son.
So how do you find dating with being, single mother and that sort of thing? And like, what's generally the reaction?
So I'm like a young mom. Like I'm the youngest on the panel here. I'm 25. So like being a young mom, 25 with an 8-year-old, people look at me like, wait, you're too young to be a mom. That's the first thing I get. Which obviously not. But I get met with very immature people my age. They don't want anything to do with the kid that's not theirs. So that's a very common thing that it comes up with. So it's like I don't
Would you
want to
date
meet
older?
people.
Like, would you date a guy that had like what like where would you what's the option if you're like, all right, I'm not finding guys my age?
I'd consider older, but I don't really like my ex was a couple years older than me, but I mean like
So like not like 10 years, like within 5 ideally.
I think my max I'd go maybe like 7 or 8.
Okay. What if he had a kid already or other kids? Would that be cool or no?
As long as like it's not any baby mama drama, I can deal with that.
So you stepmom's cool with you.
I'm fine with stepmom. If you got kids, fine. If you don't got kids, cool. You just gotta be cool with mine. If
Do
you
you
don't want
have
kids, I already have a kid, so
This-
I don't care.
This is
what's
really interesting.
real quick,
right
Gia, hold on. I
now.
want to Michaela, really quick. I want to get this, make sure I don't forget it.
Yeah.
What sort of, if any, like what sort of male support system do you have? Like good dad, uncles, brothers, like is there any at all? Like is there anything existing at all?
Sorry.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Okay. So I feel fucking horrible that I just said that. You don't have to talk about it. I swear to God, we'll move on. I promise. I didn't mean it as like a gotcha or like a targeted thing.
Sorry. Really
If you want to go
rough
off
spot.
camera really quick, you want me to pull you off?
No, we're good. We're
So
good.
you can get it together? You sure?
I lost my brother 2 years ago, my older brother, and I lost my
Christ.
father when I was 19. So I am in this world with just myself right now. Sorry.
No, I'm sorry. Jesus Christ. As long as you're okay, like we'll keep going. If you want me to
Oh, we're
go
good. I
on to
can move
somebody
on. It
else,
just completely unexpected left field. That's all.
I apologize. The
Oh,
reason
I
I was
know.
getting
No,
to it,
completely. You didn't know. No one knew. That's completely fine,
Okay.
guys.
the only reason I mention it and bring it up is that, you know, and there was a really, and this just happened like 2 weeks ago and it really fired me up. And there was a case down here in Florida, about 30 minutes from where I'm at, that this guy went nuts, over wanting to watch a football game,
I
was high
heard
on
about that here. I'm
cocaine,
in Canada, so I'm
drinking
like,
beer.
yeah, I
Yeah, so
heard
this was
about
like a
that.
big deal. They had an argument. He wanted to watch the game. She said no, shot her
shot
and
her in the
killed
head.
her. Their shared 1-year-old they have is unharmed, but she had 2 previous kids from a previous marriage, 12 and 13. The 13-year-old daughter was shot, but looks like she'll survive. And the 12-year-old boy was rushed out, but the mother was killed. And a lot of people overlook this fact that step parents and stepfathers pose a significantly higher threat percentage wise. Anywhere, like there's studies that say over 100 times. Modern studies have said maybe like 10 to 15 times. But that's why I was going to ask. It's like,
Yeah.
how is that for you? Because it's like I said
have
earlier,
yet
like people make
to-
terrible decisions all the time, and women make bad decisions with who they date all the time too. So it's like, how do you outsource that? Like, what are you gonna like? I don't know.
I have
and I
had my
apologize
fair
for bringing
share.
up something so personal.
Oh my God, no, you're good, you're good. But yeah, no, like to kind of answer that, and I'm sorry to keep trying to cut you off and answer at the same time.
It's okay.
But I've had my fair share of very toxic relationships over my unfortunate young years. My son's father being the major one and why I'm not with him. Thankfully, I'll be honest. But I have yet to be involved with any dads or of any sort. I've been able to have that experience, but a big thing because I'm a mom, you're not meeting my kid. Like that's not like hands down, you're not meeting my kid for at least a while until something's actually like going forward with us. Like that's a major thing for me because I would never want to have him. He's 8, like he will have memories. He will know these people. I'm never bringing anybody around, and that's something that is true to me. He doesn't need like the mixed signals from anybody at all. So it's like I don't want that. And I've been, like I said, single 9 months. I haven't been seeing anybody. I haven't been talking to anybody. It's just kind of I've just been spending this time with my little man. It's been the holiday season, and speaking, I have no family. It's been a rough, depressive season. So I mean, I have my sister and my mom. They're on the west coast of the country, but that's completely, Telegram, phone call, video chat thing. So Yeah, that's where I'm at on the dating realm when it comes to like stepdads and everything. I heard about that situation. Obviously being a mom, I got to be careful about that. But that's where, you got to meet and talk to people and figure out what the hell's going on.
Gia, did you have something? I apologize.
Yeah, I
No,
was seeing that too.
I was just analyzing everybody's conversations, and it was very ironic that the same conversations between Chris and the ladies, it gives a window into how men and women are operating, right? And how their narratives don't share. They're not shared narratives anymore, right? It's like both sides have mismatched interests, right? So like you have I could see it from your end, Chris, the frustration, right? And the withdrawal. And then I could see it from her end, the distrust, the resentment, or like when she used words like he wouldn't step up, or he's not being mature to want to take on a child from another man, right? So it shows the dynamics even right here in this conversation. And it's funny because like when you really look at a society enforces a common relationship script where they tell women, you're like what she was saying, oh, you're too young to be a mom, right? You hear this from women all the time. You're too young to be a mom. Oh my goodness, you're 25 and you're a mom. Why did you do that? So they tell women that they're too young to be moms and to get married, but they're not too young to get pregnant. They're not too young to have casual sex. Like it's so backwards. The script, the expectations still remain. It's just all backwards.
No,
Elizabeth,
100%.
you mentioned before.
Like, I mean,
oh, she's on mute. Sorry. Go ahead, Michaela, real quick.
I'm
Then
here.
get to Elizabeth.
oh no, go. You're good. We can finish on that.
Did you have something? Because Elizabeth, I remember before the show, you were like, yeah, like free love, like sexual freedom, do what you want, that kind of thing. So like, how does that sit with you?
How does that? Can you repeat the question?
I'm curious. I don't know. Kind of goes
Okay.
hand in hand. Like this idea that, and I kind of lost the end there too. But this idea of like sexual liberation and that we can kind of do whatever we like. Like you're about that life. Like you think that's totally cool. What is it like? The kind of culture is hookup culture is no. There's nothing. I usually hear. Here's what I'm going at. I think you mentioned hookup culture, maybe not a negative thing. Whereas I think a lot of people say that a hookup culture is, or that it's not looked down upon, is not negatively, or is not necessarily negative. Is that fair to say?
I think for me, it was much better for someone to be upfront and not waste someone's time with what their intentions are. Like if a man is looking for a serious relationship, I would want him to be upfront about that. But if he's just looking for a hookup, I would rather him express that that's only what he's looking for and not waste time.
What if I told you? No, go ahead, Spence. I got something. Don't steal it from me, but go ahead.
Elizabeth, so you said you want a guy to be upfront.
Yeah.
If a guy was upfront and said he only wants hookups with you, are you interested in it or not?
Oh, I get this a lot. I'm like, no thanks, babe, but you'll find your person.
Okay. So you're going to say no thanks.
Yeah.
This is what most women say, is they say, please be upfront with me. Tell me what you want. But then when he says he wants a hookup,
That's
they
not what I
say,
want.
goodbye.
If that was if that was what I wanted, then that would be my decision to continue to talk to him. But that's not what I want, and I wouldn't want him to waste his time, and I don't
Totally.
want to waste my time.
Totally. And I'm with you. Like if you don't want that, then it totally feels like a waste of time. But do you see from the guy's perspective why so many guys end up lying? Because I'm not saying that guys should be lying.
Yeah.
But why guys end up lying? Because when they are upfront, when they do listen to what you say, and they do say, I'm just interested in you for a hookup, it goes nowhere. They don't get what they want.
Okay, this is
there are girls that will do the hookup. I'm not one of them.
Thank you.
There are girls that
Thank
will.
you.
So go find that girl, not us.
But you see how it basically encourages, like when women say, I want the nice guy, they don't actually want the nice guy because the nice guy actually gets punished for being the good guy. So that's what we're trying to point out, is that there is some problem here with women actually rewarding the guys that aren't nice while saying they want the nice guy. There's a mashup.
Yep, it's very bad.
Well,
And that
I
comes
was
back
gonna
to
take.
like you
Yep,
said,
go on,
how
Mikhail.
Yeah,
like
I'm trying to understand where
social
that
media
came
and
from.
modern society kind of like ruined all that. Like you mentioned that, Gia, you like how all that kind of like ruined modern dating.
Yeah. Yep. Feminism. That's why I said that. Change our incentives.
I don't know, but the guys that I've talked to, and there's been a lot of guys, they're very upfront, and they've told me their experience. They're very upfront of what they're looking for, and there's a lot of girls who is in the Bay Area who are looking for a hookup, and that's it, and they're upfront about it. They'll even put it in their dating apps. So, and maybe it's because I don't know where you guys are located, but in the Bay Area, it's a lot like this. Like they're very upfront.
But you know
I
why
I
a
know
man
many
would be
people in the
upfront,
Bay Area.
right? You
I'm
know why-
sorry, this is what we're getting.
Hold up. Do you know why a man would be upfront? Do you have an idea of why he would tell you?
Of course, because it's better to just be like, okay, is this person going to be someone that this is what they want too, and let's meet up tonight. If that's probably his end goal.
Not exactly. It's because a man who has optionality, meaning several women at one time, is not going to care whether one girl walks away. The nice guy, the guy that women say they want, the loyal guy, is not the guy who has optionality. He's the average guy that doesn't get, it's very hard for him to sleep with women. So that is what we're doing, is we're taking the guys who are good, who are loyal, and we're teaching them this is not how you get a girl. So we're literally doing the opposite of what we need to be doing. The guy who's saying, the guy who's coming to you and saying, look, I don't want to be married. I just, look, the one girl, what's her name? I'm sorry. The one that had the all inclusive paid trip.
Oh, no, me. Yeah.
So he's like, he tells you straight up, I'm not looking to have a committed relationship. He has options. He probably is dating other girls other than you as well.
Oh, I know.
But everyone
And
has
that's fine.
options. You could be good looking or you could be ugly. Everyone has options, especially after the dating
Not
app.
everyone has options.
I'm sorry, but
a majority
yes,
of
it
men
is,
do
because
not
there's
have
a
options.
lot of my most beautiful girlfriends are with the most.
He just said the men. He just said the men.
Girlfriends. No, women, listen, even the ugliest woman, she could be fat and she would still have men knocking on her door tomorrow.
Yes.
Men,
Yes.
it's not the same with men. Men do not have that optionality. They have to be.
I will give this example. And I mean this in
Excellent.
the loving heart of this. Like my twin sister, I'm a twin. No one really knows I'm a twin. My twin is double my weight and she is working on it, but she's already married with her family in a house, having her stuff. He pays for everything. He does everything because she listens to him.
Which is again proving why women
You proved that
will
point.
women will always have, they will always never have a problem with getting a man to go to bed with them ever.
Yep.
It's not
Yep.
the same with a guy. It's very different.
Well,
The
yeah, a lot
easiest
less
thing in the
options,
world-
but they still have options.
The easiest thing in the world is women getting sex. It comes so easy to them.
I think they
have
can
to
get
put-
money now easier than sex. They can get a dude to sugar them without actually giving that dude sex way easier than ever before.
Yep.
Maybe
They don't even have to
nowadays.
give that up anymore, dude. Yeah.
Maybe nowadays, but generally with sex, women actually have to put barriers in the way to prevent it from happening. Men
is
don't
why
have
they're
to
the
do that.
gatekeepers. Yeah.
Yes, men have to struggle. They have to fight. They have to go to the gym. They have to lift weights. They have to become attractive to women to even have a chance at getting sex. Most men don't have options at all. I think, what is it, like a third of men haven't had sex in the last year? I can't remember the stat exactly.
Between like
Who's
20
these
and 30
men you're
years.
talking about?
Exactly.
They're
They're invisible.
Honey, you're in
I don't meet them
California.
anywhere.
Yeah.
Baby girl, you're in California. Look
They're
outside
invisible.
California. It's not just California.
I'm leaving California for that reason now.
No,
Well,
the
this
guys
is
that
where
aren't
we-
getting the guys that are not getting laid is that fat plumber that you said you were going to marry.
I never
This is
said
where
I
we-
was gonna marry that fat plumber. He was hot, okay? Get that straight.
This is where we kind of come full circle. So earlier I talked about giving the man you want what he wants, right? So women are always like, I don't want a man that just wants to hook up with me. But generally, that is what all men want from you. So the question is, after that happens, can you or will you give him what he wants for him to stick around? Right. And this is like I found that women nowadays have almost no concept of this, right? Like the guy that just wants to hook up, there's something you could do that would make him stay. And like the less attractive he is, the less that's going to be. So like the guy that just wants to hook up that you don't really want that much, you don't have to do anything and he'll stay, but you don't want him. And then the guy that also just wants to hook up, who's an attractive guy, he wants you to jump through hoops and do all, stay home, give him 10 kids, cook and clean, quit your job, no girls trips. You're not going to give him that stuff. So he's just going to dip, right? He's going to go find another woman that will.
The parallel that I want to draw to that really quick to simplify this is what I was going to say that I was going to, is that it's more of a question to Elizabeth, but I'll say this to the panel. Women hate when I say this and they don't believe me. And again, like Avis, Gia, maybe back me up. But like, you say, oh, well, if you just want to hook up, just let me know. A guy doesn't know whether he likes you or not until after he's hooked up with you. He doesn't even know. He thinks in his monkey brain, you're super funny and you're super interesting. And I love the boss babe. And I love how much money you make. And I love all this. When really, like, that's just his sex drive saying, I want to be on you. And then after that, he gets to evaluate and judge your personality. Are you somebody that picks up around the house? Do you take care? This and that. A lot of guys will watch how you react to sex and how you act after the fact, because if you treat it, if you're all snuggled up to him and you're in, his arm and you're just like, oh my God, this and that was amazing. And you're treating him like that. Great sign. If you're just like putting stuff away, like you just like is the equivalent of you going to take a piss, then not a great big red flag. You've probably been doing this. This is not your first rodeo or your 40th. So that's where a lot of women, I think, get this wrong. And I understand why you would want to withhold sex, but and I don't know what the answer is. I'm not an expert, but that's where a lot of women will get this wrong. Cause they're like, well, if you just want to hook up, just let me know. And the guy's like, I don't know if I just want to hook up. I haven't hooked up with you yet. You'll have to ask me after we hook up.
Well, I'm ready to answer that for you.
Hit me.
For me personally, I'm going to tell you straight up. I know for a fact that I probably eliminated more than 85% because I've decided to be celibate now. And the reason is far more than I'd even want to go into it in this talk show. But yes, there is a possibility that you can find that person who doesn't want to hook up. They first want to build that relationship. And that was my relationship of 7 years with my ex, Nick. We've got to meet each other. We fell in love and then we hooked up. Like after that was already like,
How did you meet him?
I met him through a mutual friend, and he lived in Tuolumne, which is right by Yosemite. And we would have to meet each other halfway, or I would just take vacation trips to Yosemite all the time to see him, or he would come down to the Bay, and then we moved in with each other. But we first built that connection before sex.
How long?
How long did it take for what?
You guys sleep together?
I think it was like 3 months. 3 months.
Do you feel like you picked him or that he picked you and he chased after you?
I think it was first I took the initiative and I just went to Yosemite. I was like, if this is going to work, someone has to make that choice. And I was just like, let me just go on a vacation and go to Yosemite. And it was just like a quick date, and we were in the same hotel room, but he respected me. He's like, I don't want to do this. Like, I don't know you, and I want to build a connection. Like, if this is something that's serious, and he was much.
Okay, I'm very interested now because
That's rare.
Your last boyfriend, long-term boyfriend, you chose him and you took the initiative first.
Yeah.
So how come the thing you say that you want is for guys to go over and above and put all this initiative and show all this attention to you up front, like texting, hey, good morning, beautiful, before ever meeting you?
Because
why is the thing that you say that you want not the thing that you actually
No, because that's what
do?
Nick used to do. Like, he would spend time trying to get to know me. Like, throughout the days we would talk to each other, even though we weren't going to meet each other until one of us made that commitment to go to each other. But yeah, it's something that I am asking for. Like, if you want me to take time, then I want to make sure that we're clicking on some type of level. So I don't waste my time and you don't waste your time, which is quite reasonable.
Let me try something different. Before we move on. Elizabeth, do you think, I don't want your personal opinion of yourself because I bet I could know what you'd say. Do you think men in general would find you more attractive now at 32 or would find you more attractive at say 22 or 23?
Absolutely at 22 or 23.
Do you so you accept that that's something that men think? So why would you expect to maintain the same standards and that you would expect to get the same treatment you got at 22? Why would you expect to get the same treatment at 32 when you just said that you realize that you've become less attractive to men?
I think for me, it's like I would treat the person and this is coming from me personally. I would treat the person the same, even if they were younger or older. I've dated older men. I dated younger men. I treat everyone the absolute same. So I
But
would
I'm
hope
talking
that they
about
would treat me
purely
the
in
same.
terms of attractiveness. And like the reason I know that's not true, at least to talk about it, when we spin it and put it on the female perspective, a guy that makes $250,000 a year and can afford for you to stay home and provide an amazing lifestyle for you and get you anything you want would hold you to a much higher standard than the guy that just was happy to have a chick around his arm and he really couldn't get anybody else. So there are differences. Just the
Yeah.
way the way men value women is in looks and superficiality. The way that women generally value men is with resources and gathering money and that sort of thing. So it's like you've got a $1 million lawyer and a $50,000 plumber, and the plumber's asking for the same benefits and the same treatment as the lawyer. Like that doesn't make
Yeah.
sense.
I would treat everyone the same. I've treated my ex Jordan the same exact way that I treated Nick. And Nick was not making a lot of money, but Jordan was making a lot of money, and I would still treat them the same. Absolutely the same.
I love it. You really are an HR. You should run for politics. You should run for office someday, I think. I think you'd be a great politician.
No.
I think you'd do very well.
No, I do horrible.
I still
Hey,
really
this-
want to call out. Hold on.
Yeah, go ahead
I really
real
want
quick.
to call out the part where, like, Elizabeth, what you said you wanted is still not the thing that you actually did with your past relationship. You sought after him. You picked him, but you're
I didn't pick. If he wouldn't have put that much time and effort to get to know me, I wouldn't have even drove a mile for him at all. But he put in the time
You
and effort
still
to
went.
get to know.
You
Yes,
still took
because
the
it's
initiative to
someone.
go there, though.
It's someone that I've built a connection.
Was he
and I'm-
offering you the trip? Like he didn't say, "Hey, I'll fly you out here." He didn't say, "Hey, come and we'll go do this thing." Like,
No,
"Hey,
and I
come, we'll
didn't
go have this really nice dinner."
because I
He didn't
built a
have to say
connection.
that, but that's what guys
No.
have to say now.
I'm not asking for. I'm asking for a guy to spend time to get to know me, and I get to know him to see if it's something that I want to pursue, or if it's something that we'll both want the same thing. So we don't waste more time.
Okay.
That's just it.
Okay. I want to ask a different question to all the girls on the panel here. Who thinks that loyalty is attractive in men? You think that? Put your hand up if you think loyalty is attractive.
All
kind of a
women are
trick
going to say
question.
that.
Everyone, right? Everyone here thinks loyalty is attractive.
Everyone.
Okay. Now, who here has dated a guy or has a friend who has dated a guy who was not loyal? All of you again? What? Wait. So
friend,
women say they
obviously.
want one thing. All women say that loyalty is attractive, but tons of women have dated guys who are not loyal. So women say they want one thing, but in actuality, that's not what they wanted to get into that relationship. They say they want one thing, but they actually wanted something else.
That's not what they prioritize.
Yeah.
Correct.
Usually what women, when they say they like a certain thing, they're talking about stuff that are like comfort qualities, stuff that would be really nice in a boyfriend, but it's not the same thing that makes them attracted to the man. So for men trying to learn how to be more attractive to women, for the guys out there who don't have options, because most don't, listening to what a woman says usually is not the best answer, because she's going to say something that she's not actually attracted to.
In other words, morality has nothing to do with attraction at all.
Gee, I want to ask you this. Because I think you know the answer. I'm curious to see what you actually say. What are the two most attractive traits, do you think, in men to women?
Oh, provisioning, money, protection, which would be security, same thing. But there's under those titles, there's so many things that applies to it.
Because I think so. My view is number one is violence, capacity for violence.
Which would
and
be
number
under
two,
protection. Mhm.
yeah, number two is pre-selection, which would be the opposite essentially of loyalty.
Mm.
So like I think women actually don't value, like women value loyalty from men they don't really like that much.
Well,
Like
they
you
want,
must be loyal if you're not that guy.
Selectivity, pre-selectivity is like she wants the guy that everybody else wants. And usually that comes with a guy who is a high earner.
Well, you want a man that has options, right? Like you want a man that other women want, but then you want that man to be yours alone, if that makes sense.
And then you get them all to yourself, and 9 times out of 10, you break that fucking man.
You wouldn't want
It's
him
kind of
anymore.
like, well, it's kind of like you want him to, you want to know that he could have any woman he wants, but he chooses to be with you.
Yeah.
See, I think it goes further than that in the female psyche. I think this is like our modern niceness of like, he's mine. You know, like he could have any man he wants, but he's only with me. I don't think that's actually what women want. I think that's what women in modernity think they want. I think women actually have no issue with him being with other women, as long as it doesn't interfere with the protection and the provisioning.
Yeah,
I
I think
will
that
attest
you're
to
right about
that.
a lot of women.
I
that are
agree.
Like that. Mhm.
I agree.
Yeah, I think this is kind of how we.
I don't. I'm sorry. I don't. I don't agree with it. For me, it's.
Well, if I can't hear you.
I don't agree with it. But
Moff, are you muted?
Not coming through.
I've been muted this whole time. Jesus Christ. No, I was gonna ask Naomi because she popped up. Is that something that you're personally okay with? Like you don't believe it conceptually, but would you be with a guy or marry a guy and say, yeah, like you can bounce on other women, just don't like buy her shit?
Honestly, if I was with a man, even though my free range era, we're talking about potential universes. But if a man provides me foundational support, whether that's a home, financial advice, or support, whatever it is, and provides me protection, security, like, and I have everything that I need and want, go do whatever you want to do. I'm gonna turn the other eye. I don't care. Girls will come at me for that response. I don't give a fuck. But you know what? As long as I'm happy and protected and safe, just like Gia said, I have money coming through every single month. Then they want to hook up with a side piece, go for it. Because I'm the one with the house over my head. I'm the one with the car. I'm the one with the credit card, not her.
Does any other panelist agree with that, or do you all disagree?
I would agree.
Mm-hmm.
I think my hard line is you don't get to love anybody else.
And then we get into what is love.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite interesting, right? When you look at like the examples of men throughout time that have like best fulfilled their mating strategy, like if you look at Genghis Khan, for example, obviously
I'm
a vast
Mongolian. I think that's why. Sorry.
Yeah, so like obviously
It's
a
her
vast
granddad.
majority of the women that were his women loved him, right? Even though he loved a whole bunch of women and was because he was able to protect and provide for all of those women, right? Like otherwise they wouldn't have gone along with this.
I will say this though, while I do say protection and provisioning, right, as a priority, women have like a ladder system. So what feminism did is it really made women want it all. So if we really want to be honest here, it's not just two things that they want it all. And what ends up usually happening is they prioritize something and they commit to a man on those priorities. And then as a relationship goes along, they keep trying to push for more, if that makes any sense.
Well, and I think basically how we ended up where we are today is like men no longer say no and do what they think is right and what they want to do. And why is that? And I think the answer is because it's unacceptable societally for them to do so. So back in the day, if a man was like, I'm going to go have sex with this woman, like A woman that's dependent on him can't do it. Like, well, he still loves me. He's going to take care of me. What can I do? Right. But now, right, when a man is going to do what he wants to do, he's kind of like by the balls by his woman and can't do it. And over time, this is how we end up like with shit like women voting, for example.
Yeah, well, the state has given women too much power in marriage, and not really in marriage, but in divorce. And I think that holds back a lot of men from taking on that natural leadership and that just like whatever attitude, like I'm going to lead this family and you're going to fall in line or what?
I mean, that's where we are today is most men, they want to do something and they think something is right. And they're like, oh, I can't do it because my wife would be mad.
Yeah.
And this is what allowed feminism to fester and grow into the shit that it is today, is men not saying no.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So this is like Meg said earlier, and it kind of squeaked out, right? She was like, I like a man that orders food for me, right?
Yeah.
So like deep down,
Tells me what to order.
Women want to be like, I'm getting a salmon, and the man be like, no, there's too much mercury in that. You're not eating that shit. Like that turns women on. Like, no, you're getting a steak. Sorry.
I like a leader, and like when going out and them just being like, hey, let's get this, this, and this. I'm like, okay, that works. Let's split everything.
Except when it's coffee.
But I'm also not picky either. Unless it's spicy.
But you don't, unless it's coffee or tea.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Elizabeth,
Other than that, Meg, you seem pretty
that.
easygoing. All right. I think you seem pretty easygoing.
Yeah.
I thought you had I thought you were like, no anti bare minimum. Like you had like a lot of standards, but you're like,
No, I'm
long
actually
distance,
very
no big
chill.
deal. I'm chill. Yeah, right on.
My long-term ex of 7 years, he makes 60 grand a year. I actually almost married the $1 million lawyer, and then I left him to go back to that guy. So, like I've seen both sides of it.
Well, what isn't working, right? Like, how come it hasn't worked out so far?
What, with me?
No, with me. Yes, with you, man. Like, why, like, why has it been going back and forth? Like, why haven't you found the guy yet? What are you doing wrong?
I'm just picky. I know what I want, but
What do
I
you
don't
want?
think it's
women don't know what they want. Did we just discuss all this?
Women want it all. Women want it all.
It's pretty good.
Yes,
All
yes,
right.
we did.
Good night, everybody.
My
Have a
last
great
rela-
show. We appreciate it. We're done.
My last relationship was very toxic, and so taking some time from that, not the normal toxic that other people have gone through. So
Special toxic.
Everyone's
I think
toxic.
I mentioned about it before. Yeah.
You have, yeah. And that's okay.
Yeah.
I understand. We're not trying to go down any dark, deep rabbit holes here. So we talked about the protection and the money in this. What about, all right, because I think this is where TC was going, but he didn't. So I might want to go there for him. So you got everything you want. You got it. Let's say you're in Nomi's situation. Everything you want, everything you need, you're provided for, you're happy, you're healthy. Maybe he wants to take it a step further. And he's like, actually, it's not just these random, girls that I'm running through. I'm going to bring 2 more women home. You're going to have a nice little trio of sister wives, and I'm going to have 10 kids. We're all going to live in the same house. I'm going to provide and protect for all of you. That's the deal. How does that sit with everybody? Naomi, what if you were the only person that said screw around? So would you take that extra step further?
Oh, absolutely not. If I were into women, I would change
okay.
my mind though. But I'm not into women. Unfortunately, no offense to anyone
Well,
else.
you don't have to sleep with them. Hold on. Let me clarify.
No,
This
sister
is not
wives
like
means you all
this is
share
not
the same
Only
bed,
on
but
his
none of you
birthday.
sleep together.
It's not
I'm not
this is
pushing
an
out 10
orgy situation. We're talking strictly like living under the same roof. You're
Polygamy.
separate. You have a relationship with him, and then your sister wives with the others. But like, it's not sexual in that nature. Generally,
I mean, they can buy. If he can afford me, then he can afford to buy them smaller houses next door.
as long as they're smaller, you want to be
Smaller they have
the
to
main
be.
I don't
chick.
care.
They got to be
needs
side
to be
hoes, and you're
made.
the main bitch. All right. Anybody else?
Who did I hear say they're not pushing out 10 kids?
Me? Definitely.
I
not.
won't.
See, that's why.
Well,
this
no,
is
there's
perfect.
10 among
Three
the
each.
three of you.
That's why
Yeah,
there's multiple
9 among
women
the
is-
3 of you. That's why he was trying to make a baseball team.
I was not trying to go there either.
Oh, you know what? They can be my surrogates.
We can back
It's
out. It's
fine.
fine.
It's fine. I don't care. I
As long as you're taken care of.
Yep, there you go.
They have to live in a smaller house and be surrogates. Can't have their own children.
Gia
I'm probably
Avis,
gonna change
no
my mind
shot.
tomorrow, but it's okay.
I mean, yeah, I've done tons of shows on polygamy. And I think that the big misconception with it is that they think that because a man has multiple wives, that means that they're going to be having these full on, sexual
Cat
escapades
fights.
with multiple
Oh,
women, right? And that's
okay,
not really
yeah.
how it goes down. Like the proper scriptural way of polygamy is a man would have to first be able to have one wife. Okay. So she would have to be a good wife and he would have to be a good husband even before they decide to bring other women into that union. So I think that that's where the miscommunication happens, because a lot of people don't even want to get married to begin with, no less be a wife or a husband. So how are you going to even straw man polygamy in this situation?
Free selection. Got to have the first wife to convince the other two about it.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a-
being said that hey, if my husband wanted to do that and that was something that he wanted to take on, you know what? It would definitely be a conversation worth having.
Yeah. Agreed. I mean, in my house, if that's what Rob said, I mean, that's what we would be doing. It would be an adjustment. It's way different than Nomi's little side piece thing, right? Like it's a whole, like you're interacting with these women. It's a whole different ballgame.
Avis, so you mentioned, so again, I don't know the total dynamic. Does that have some sort of like religious foundation to it? Like when it's like the pure submission, or is that just because I hear like a lot of women when they say that, it's like, well, I think Elizabeth said earlier, well, I want to have an opinion, or maybe it was Michaela. And it's like,
Yeah.
I think it's fine if she wants to have an opinion but he's the ultimate decision maker. Or is
Right.
it, if he just says we're doing this, like it's not even a conversation, or is there some nuance there?
No, there's some nuance there. I mean, we have a conversation. I give my opinion. Rob takes my opinion, but at the end of the day, he makes the decision, right? Like he's considering my opinion, and maybe he agrees with me, and maybe he doesn't. But either way, whatever he says goes.
Would any other women on the panel ever be in a marriage or relationship like that? Gee, I know you are, but I mean, it's like, would you say, hey, the man's the boss, and I'll plead my case, but he's the boss, and what he says goes?
I would say I'm definitely, when I'm in a relationship, submissive. Like I let the guy take the lead.
Is there anything
If I
that you
get that
might push
approach
back
to me, I'm
on?
open to it.
But like, so what are some things that what are some like hard lines in the sand? Like, what would you want to negotiate?
I mean,
Wait, so the
Well, you
phone
mentioned like your
it was
work and
this.
thing. I guess my thing is, all right, let me try a different tactic. I like to ask this about authority, right? So let's say there has to be a decision made that's going to affect the both of you, and you both are on the complete opposite sides of the coin. Neither one of you will compromise. That's it. You have to go left or you have to go right. There's no straight, there's no going in reverse. Which way do you only go and why? Who makes the final ultimate decision on which way you go in your relationship?
Me or Michaela?
Anybody can just chime in one at a time.
If I'm married to the person, his decision. If we're
On
just
everything.
dating, I'm a mom. I gotta be a little bit of authoritative. I gotta be there for my kid, you know? If it's just dating, then no, I gotta be authoritative. But if I'm married to you, yeah, your decision. I'll listen.
Even when it comes to the kid?
Oh, there
It
it is.
depends.
there's
Okay,
the
so
pause.
wait.
There it was. Hold on to clip that.
Wait. So, you know what? No, it will to the kid too. I will say this because I will not marry a man unless he is right for my son. If he's not the right person to be there for my son. So yes, no, down to that I would. Yeah.
Okay. Who else? Did we forget the question? I'll repeat it. You're in a relationship. It's your perfect relationship. You want to go left. He wants to go right. That's the only choice you can make. There's no compromise. Somebody has to make the final decision. Who does it?
I'll
I'd say
go, I guess. Oh, sorry. Who's
I
gonna
would
go?
say, oh, sorry. I would say the man, just because, again, I don't like confrontation and I get over things in 2 seconds. And I'm like, all right, let's do what you want to do and let them take the authority.
Okay. I want to come back to you, Meg, but I want to go back to Nomi. Nomi, what did you think?
Definitely it's the man's decision because at the end of the day, if a man truly does care and love you, he would always make the protect decision to protect his wife. Because at the same time, if you're always the one making the decision, then you're allowing room. I said this in our last podcast that I did with you guys. You're allowing room for disrespect to grow. Because then at the same time, you're just letting the man know that you don't trust him. You don't trust his instincts when men have the instincts that we don't necessarily see. Because what I see with a lot of women is we always answer the question by not answering the question. But men just say yes or no, left or right, up or down. So that's just me.
I think
I
that's
didn't hear that
valid.
Elizabeth.
happen once tonight. Not once did anyone answer a question without answering the question.
I don't know about all that. I bet I can roll back the tape and find a couple. I want to go to
That's exactly what I meant.
I want to go. Oh, right. Yeah. Anna, what about you?
I would say my man would have the final say for sure. I like a man who leads. I like a man who leads the household for sure.
Okay. I'm saving Elizabeth for last because I know she's going to disagree. Gia, I know where you stand on this. Well,
I don't even like the word compromise, so don't get me started.
well, right. There is none, right? Like there's
There is
decisions to
none.
be made.
Because
Yeah.
it only happens when there's equal leverage. And what happens in relationships is women always say compromise, compromise, but they're only expecting him to compromise and her to have full leverage. So that's why it doesn't work.
That's a good take.
Interesting. All right, Elizabeth, lay it on us. Tell us why you're going to make all the decisions and you're the leader in the relationship.
I did not say that. I was not gonna say that to your surprise.
There, yeah,
I am-
very.
If I am with someone, I will let him lead because if we're together, I have to trust him that he's gonna make the right calls and the right decisions.
I'm gonna be real picky about this really quick. We don't have to stick on this, but like, I thought it was interesting how you said I would let him lead, as if you're giving him permission to lead you. So in a way,
Yeah, because in a way,
you're still
it's-
directing him.
You're
telling him what to do.
Compromise.
So you're letting him, but you're not letting you down.
Compromise.
You're not letting yourself submit.
So again, I don't know. Might be something to think about. Might be something up in that subconscious
Wording.
Yeah, but again, like Meg, I want to come back to you. Like, I just want to. I'm driving myself nuts over here. You seem like you're very well adjusted. You seem like you want the guy to lead. Like, you seem like a dude's going to sweep you off your feet. Why hasn't it worked yet? You said not. It's just because it's not Vegas, men. Like, what's not working?
I'm not in a rush right now either. Like if they come along, they come along. I'm not really looking. But there have been people out of state that, I see myself being with rather than someone here. And I mean,
So
I'm
why
not
still live
stuck.
in Vegas? Why not move?
Move.
Well, yeah, I said I'm not in a rush, but nothing's holding me here if I wanted to make that move.
When would you know when it's time to be in a rush? How will you know when it's time to like, oh, well, now I'm going to start?
I don't know. Time will take. I'm a very spontaneous person. So like when I moved back to Vegas during COVID, I didn't even know a week before, and I was on the plane with 2 suitcases. And I got here and I'm like, what am I doing? I have no idea yet. And I've been here since 2020. So.
I mean,
why you need a
spontaneity
man to
doesn't
follow.
die with marriage.
Go ahead, Avis.
I said spontaneity doesn't die with marriage.
Well, no, I'm just very spontaneous. And it's like, I hear words, I need actions. So who's going to make the actions versus the words? Because growing up back east, like there's those people that are like, they tell you how they feel about you after you move across the country. And it's like, well, why didn't you tell me when I was back home? Does that make sense?
Did you give them the chance when you were back home in order for them to be able to do that? Because
No, because I didn't know.
well, there you go.
So she
You
hopped
did
on
give
a plane
chance.
the
That's
next
all you
day.
don't know.
That's exactly.
I was bored.
And they were bored. That's why they told you when you left.
Cardinal rule, never be boring.
Yeah, I don't like boring. I ran from a date the other night. I was texting my friend. I was like, okay, I'm getting Uber over your house right now. Like, I need to go. This guy's boring. I can't.
All right, that brings something very up. It brings we hear that a lot, and maybe we need to put the screws to you ladies a little bit. So, what makes a guy not boring? How do you know if he's boring? What makes a guy interesting?
I need someone that knows how to hold a conversation.
That's what every woman says.
But no, it's 100%. Especially, I grew up in Charlottesville, so it's like very, people are smart there. They're not stupid.
So what do you mean by hold a conversation? Like, what are you expecting him to do? Ask questions, lead, tell stories, right? There's parts of a conversation. What does that actually mean?
Yeah, lead, tell stories, like have things in common, not just sit there
Like
where
what?
we're just like staring at each other.
Wow. Does that happen?
Yeah. The other night, I was like, "Get me out of here." Yeah.
Are you sure they're the boring one?
Yeah, they were kind of boring.
I love the transition across this whole episode from Michaela at the beginning being like, that's so well worded. Such a good answer, too. Are you sure they're the boring one?
I'm fun. I know I'm fun.
What makes you fun, Meg?
I am. I'm just like, I'm very outgoing. I know how to talk to people.
Boring
Right
is
on.
a green flag in women.
I'm not.
True.
Yeah.
Boring is good.
I don't want to hear about
For
her
women.
going to
I heard a man
Dubai.
say he doesn't like loud women.
Well, who does? My
I
goodness.
mean,
Yeah, I don't want to
Y'all
have
are
to
all
fight a
too
woman.
loud.
Come on.
Good Lord.
we
man.
are.
Well, what boring is like the culmination of like a guy that's kind of psycho is usually not boring. Like Mr. Exciting, Mr. Psycho, is Mr. Dangerous is not boring. And what is that? That's violence, right? Capacity for violence is the least boring thing. So you don't
He's the
like
same
guys
guy
that
that
would
does
get
He was kind of a
ran
party guy.
over.
My ex is kind of a party guy. Well, I liked him because he wasn't a big drinker, and then I didn't realize he was doing other stuff, like out of the way. But yeah, you have to be careful with that.
And that goes back to Spencer's comment about guys lying about getting what they want.
But yeah.
They are
You don't
rewarded
know
for
anybody
it.
truly.
I think me and Avis can say this, right? I don't tell me if I'm wrong, Avis, but one of the things that a man looks for in a quality for a woman that he commits to is a woman who doesn't need a lot of stimuli. She doesn't need to be distracted with tons of stuff, right? So if she can be satisfied sitting in front of the TV at home, cuddled up with her man, having a little bit of popcorn, complete silence, and that's her great weekend night. Like that's something that she looks forward to. That's a woman that you want a commitment to. So that's just something for you ladies to think about, because when you tell somebody I don't want boring, what that's ultimately telling the man is I don't want dependable. I don't want somebody who I can call and need. He's not going to be like you're basically putting away the good guy that's going to commit to you.
For me, it's different. When I say I don't want boring, it's because I don't want someone to just stare across from the table from me and not start a conversation with me.
That's what Meg just said.
Yeah, but I don't believe this. I don't buy this narrative that those are actually the dates that you're having, that guys are just staring at you oggly-eyed because their cat has their
Awkward.
tongue. I bet they're
No,
I know
no,
more than
Moth.
there's no way they're
Moth,
just
it's
sitting
not
there and
happening
staring at
because
you.
she cancels the dates before.
Oh, thank you.
flags
Thank
come.
you,
That's true.
Spencer. Thank you.
But there's got to be
Davis.
something about the guy where you're like, this is boring. And I think an interesting about that Gia brought up too, it's like, if you ask the most successful people in the world, like what their morning routine is or what they do or the work they do every day or like how to get jacked or in shape or rich, guess what? It's a
I'm not that
ton of
It's a lot.
boring.
Go to
It's
the
a
gym.
lot of boring ass over and over monotonous bullshit. That's how you get
But
good
it's
at
not
anything.
boring
It's
to
boring.
them.
It's
to them.
boring. You
It's
ask any
boring.
Yes,
professional,
it is.
It's
you
not
ask any
boring to me.
professional,
Getting
you ask
up
any
at 5 a.m., I love it. I'm up
You
early
ask
in the morning.
you ask
I
any
love that.
professional athlete. First of all, professional athletes been getting up at 5 a.m. and doing 3 workouts a day for 20 years. Professional boxers boxing on 20, 25 years. Do you think they think training is still fun? I love weightlifting. It's not always fun. It's very rarely fun. So,
I'm a
but it's
bodybuilder.
the
It's not
work that
fun.
needs to be done.
You get
Gia, I know
used
you are
to
as
it
well,
and-
right? So it's but there's a difference between learning to enjoy the work and being,
What
again, boring
Yeah,
is something that
Elizabeth.
adds up over time.
Yes.
So.
like what differentiates the person who does things the same way all the time versus you who says something else? It's really a mindset. It's just a mindset. It's a
for
matter
me,
of a
it's
lens.
like if I get up early in the morning, I'm always grateful just to even be alive and wake up in the morning. Grateful
Mhm.
for that and have the opportunity to start early in the morning. Just start that day off with gratitude and just being like, okay, I'm grateful I'm awake. Let me just get this routine. It's not easy waking up at 5 a.m. It wasn't easy in the beginning, but just the practice is what really helped me a lot, and just changing my mindset just to be grateful for having that opportunity to even be up early in the morning.
Mindset.
You need to run for
Mindset.
office, Elizabeth. I swear to God, you'd be you'd be a fantastic
No,
mayor.
I wouldn't.
You
I'd be
just got
horrible.
all the answers now. You're fucking crushing it. Ladies, we're about 2 hours in. This is normally a time when we would start to kind of wrap the show up. I'm fine with doing that and letting everybody have the rest of the night off. Here's what I'll do. If there's still things to discuss, you still want to keep going, we can stay on for a little bit longer. But if you need to drop, this would be the time. Does anybody want to stay a little bit longer? Has he got more things that they want to talk about and table, or is this a good time to wrap?
I gotta go.
I have to
Personally,
go, but it was fun.
this was great.
Yep,
Great meeting all of you,
absolutely.
and thank you, ladies,
Yeah.
for an amazing conversation, gentlemen.
Yeah, it was
We
fun.
appreciate you being here.
Thank you all for coming on. You're welcome on anytime. Just send me a message and you're welcome.
Well,
Nice
hopefully we all
meeting
get to
you.
be in the next
Ladies.
chat together. This would be
Thank
fun.
you.
We'll wrap there, guys.
Yes.
Stay in touch. Everybody have a great rest of the evening. Thanks again to the panel for coming on, and we'll see everybody next time.
All right, sounds good.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.